The Stadiumville project proposes to document the history and memory of the events and people who have shaped the neighborhoods in what is now Turner Field, and the redevelopment of the area as the Atlanta Braves leave for the suburbs. The Stadiumville project will reside primarily on two online platforms. One is the Korsakov program, which allows for the creation of interactive database films, and then the other is ATL Maps. On the ATL Maps platform, users will be able to interact with a growing number of layers, some of them archival map layers and others pinpoint projects on the study area. Stadiumville became one of the first test cases for the ATL Maps platform because it allowed us to show how seemingly unrelated layers of information might actually be related when you stack them on top of one another and organize them geographically. These pinpoints represent murals from the 2013 Living Walls project. And this cluster of murals is unusual in the city. There have been other years and there are other murals across the city, but this is a strange area because of so many. And a representative from Living Walls explained that this was very much related to the stadium and the history of urban renewal in the area. So we decided to take a look at some of the maps in the Planning Atlanta collection and see what happened when we stacked them with the Living Walls murals that that organization allowed us to scrape from their site. And so here is one of the first maps that we used from the Planning Atlanta collection. It's a land use map from 1952. We also grabbed a housing code compliance map, which shows how Atlanta was planning to use federal dollars for urban renewal project. And then a third map that we decided to use early on was one of the many Negro residential maps that Atlanta was making at the time, showing where African Americans were moving in the city. When we stack these layers together on the ATL Maps platform, we can see some pretty interesting things pretty quickly. We can use the opacity slider to show how this neighborhood changed from a residential area with businesses to an area dominated by interstates, parking lots, and stadiums. We can also take a look at how the city planned to use federal urban renewal funds and how that sometimes matched up with how Atlanta was mapping race in the city. When the Braves announced that they were leaving Turner Field, we decided to expand the project. We first added a series of oral histories that include former Jewish residents, current residents, city planners, and even people tailgating at a Braves game. With more funding, we hope to continue the Stadiumville project by adding more archival layers, more oral histories, maps of possible plans for the area in the future, as well as many other data layers.